Hey, good evening, everybody. Another pretty spring day here on the North Fork. Started out with thunderstorms and clouds, and sunshine and thunderstorms. It was great. Um, hey, I'm glad to be back. Had a couple things been bothering me, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Here over the last few weeks, we've heard about all these shootings and I mean, just tragic occurrences. Mothers losing their children and police officers' lives being ruined, and it's just tragic. But there's one shooting really not getting a whole lot of attention that I'm seeing, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Back on January 6th, Miss Ashley Babbitt, 35-year-old Air Force veteran, made the mistake of being part of that crew that went into the Capitol building. And let me just start by saying, I none of those people had any business going into that Capitol. They had every right in the world to be outside and saying what they needed to say, but and I think we all know that they were induced to go in there. Trump supporters don't tear up property and burn and break and all this stuff. So they were induced. There's no question about that. But Ashley Babbitt, this bothers me. I've been watching some videos of it and thinking about it. And the D.C. Medical examiner ruled it a homicide. Capitol Police says they don't want to press any charges because nobody's civil rights got violated. This does not fly with me, honestly. So anyway, hey Ashley, thanks for coming on. I'm going to try to show you all a little video. It's less than 3 minutes. It's a news clip. It's not really graphic, but it is disturbing. And hey, I just today is the first time I've ever attempted to do this. So if I can't make it work, we're not going to waste a whole lot of time with it. But let me try this and just see what I can do. And I want you all to watch it real careful. And I'm going to try to pause it once in a while and make a few comments. But we need to think about this. And like I said, it's less than 3 minutes, and I'm not violating anybody's copyright. I'm not making any money on this. It's just to kind of not prove my point, but clarify my point. So let me try to do this here, and we'll see what happens. All right, now here we go. I hope you can hear me and see this at the same time, but I just want to watch this a minute. I want you to notice something there. These cops are just standing there, and these punks are literally punching around their heads to get to that glass. And these guys, these Capitol Police, and I talked about the Capitol Police a couple of weeks ago. These are very high-paid guys, and I think they're like the 9th largest police force in the country. So, and they're just standing there, and these people are punching around their heads. Now, if I was 20 years old and tried that, there would be a horizontal nightstick in my teeth, and that would have stopped my window breaking because I'd have been busy picking up teeth off the floor. But let's get back into this here a minute and just watch it. If I can figure out how again. Okay, I got it.
We don't want to hurt the on the side.
And there was Miss Babbitt, someplace she didn't have any business being, but I can't get over these police officers just standing there and allowing all that to happen. Oh, that crowd could have been moved away from that partition so easily. And now you keep watching a little bit here, and you're going to see armed tactical police officers behind this crowd with, I guarantee they're not semi-automatic rifles. But hang on here. Let's just go again and check this out for a few minutes.
These guys ain't the ones that fuck the blue.
All right, now here in just a second, and I want to show you what to watch for, but you look off to the left of that picture once they pan through that glass, and you're going to see a cop hiding in the doorway with a pistol sticking out, and this man's almost taking a rest on the door jamb. And he's just waiting, almost like a daggone deer hunter. So let's let this run. It's only another minute or so.
We want you to go home. I'm recording, and there's so many people. It's just they're gonna push their way up here. Bro, I see people out there get hurt. I don't want to see you get hurt. We will make a path dead ass. Like, that's what I'm saying. We'll make a path, bro. Please, just let us make a path. Just let us make a path. For the whole country, I want you to go home. Go, let's go. Get this shit.
And now the cops are just giving up and leaving. What's the deal here? These guys are paid to protect this building and the people in it, and they're just leaving. This is not smelling right to me. All right, now let's just watch a little bit further, and this is going to be pretty much the end of it.
There's a gun.
All right, now you can see this weapon off to the left. And like I said, this man's almost taking a rest. He intends to take a shot. There's no question. All right, now, the very few last seconds of this clip, you look off to the right, you're going to see at least a half a dozen, what I would call tactical police. They're in riot gear, automatic weapons. And these dudes turn around and go down the steps. Now, just hang on a second. And that's the end of that. at least a half a dozen cops on that stairway behind that girl, and she climbs up on that windowsill. She's got to have both hands up on the frame. Anybody could have reached up and grabbed her backpack and pulled her back out of there. Her hands were obviously empty, and this guy feels justified in taking a shot. Man, there's no way you can call this a justifiable shooting. I want to use the words government sanctioned murder because to me, that's what it was. And no charges are going to be filed. And this girl has lost her life. I don't know that she left any kids, but a husband that she'd recently married. I don't know, folks. We've got to, I think our senators and U.S. congressmen ought to take a look at this case. And this has just been put off too easily. And we're supposed to accept this and just take it. This doesn't smell right. It stinks to high heaven, really. So, yeah, I wanted to discuss that because it's been bugging me. It's really bothering me. That whole thing is not right. Not right at all. I know the Capitol building has to be protected and the senators and congressmen have to be protected, but there was no need to shoot that girl. She wasn't any threat. The guys breaking the windows were more threats. And like I said before, there was no Trump supporters doing that. It was all staged, and the Trump supporters that got induced to go in there, they just momentarily lost their judgment. And of course, this girl paid the price for it. But I don't know. The other thing I wanted to get into was the what we would have called State of the Union address if we'd have had a real president. But I had originally urged everybody to boycott that because I didn't want to see any good TV ratings. That's just the bad guy I am. But I actually had both TVs turned to another channel, Northwoods Law. It's like cops only with game wardens, and it was really more interesting than anything Biden could have said anyway. But a couple hours later, I thought, well, a person ought to know what the enemy's up to. And this administration is our enemy. But I watched the replay of it. Did y'all see that room? Usually with the State of the Union address will hold about 1,600 people. And they said there was 200 there. It was so pathetic. You could actually tell by the sound system the room was empty. The way the acoustics echoed. But I tell you what I'd like y'all to do. Go to my YouTube channel. It's called Truth with Tom, if you can find it. And subscribe to it, because my goal is to get more subscribers than Biden had at that address. So if we can hit 200, man, that would make me happy as hell. But this guy lied, good Lord, one lie after the other. He has suggested $6 trillion more in spending. And I think back to old Everett Dirksen. When I was a kid, he was a senator. He said, well, $1 billion here and $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. Everything this guy wants to do costs $2 trillion. I heard Ted Cruz say he hoped that the Democrats didn't find out what the next number after trillion is. We're really going to be in trouble. But infrastructure. And man, that means anything now. They're not talking about bridges and stuff. I think $500 billion would take care of all the highway and bridge work they want to do. And the whole thing was pathetic. But then he came back and repeated something that I talked about a week or two ago. No amendment is absolute. Now, the first time he said it, that's a gaffe. That was just stupid. The second time that gets repeated, they're trying to get us used to the idea, folks, that no amendment's absolute. And let's talk about this just a minute. Bear with me. Of course, the First and Second Amendment we all know about: right to free speech and the right to keep and bear arms. Number one, speech, obviously not absolute, because they're taking that away from us on a daily basis. They may cut me off before too long here this evening. Keep and bear arms, they're fighting that. They're working on that. They want rid of that one. I don't think we have to worry about quartering soldiers anymore, but Amendment number 4, right to privacy. No unlawful search and seizure. Well, the government's not doing that, but they're getting these big tech companies to do it, private companies. And they appear to be getting away with it right now. Here very soon, I'm going to start studying state constitutions, because a lot of state constitutions have provisions against this. It's just that the people don't know about it, and we haven't started to fight it yet. Now, a few individual states are suing them. Florida, I think, the big one. But our right to privacy is slowly being eroded. Number 5, can't try you twice for the same offense. Double jeopardy. Is that not absolute? So government has a beef against you, they can charge you with a crime and just keep trying you till they get a conviction. Crazy. Speedy trial by jury. Not absolute, so they can just kind of keep you behind bars for 5 years and put off your trial. And come on, this is ridiculous. The elections, number 12, elections left to the states to regulate. And they're working on that right now. A completely unconstitutional law, according to the 12th Amendment. But again, we got to start pushing our senators and reps, honestly. Number 13, slavery. Well, maybe you can own 1 or 2 slaves if it's not absolute. How about citizenship for slaves? Should we do away with that? Now, here's one that I can accept not being absolute. Let me look it up real quick and read it to you. What number is it? 16. I don't want to waste a lot of your time, but you'll enjoy hearing this one. Let's make this one not absolute. The Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived. Yeah, I don't care for that one, so we can make that one not absolute. How about number 19? We're going to restrict the women's right to vote. What, do you have to be a certain shape or size or something to vote? And there's a few others, but I'm not going to go through all of them. There's 27 amendments in all. You all ought to try to look them up and read them. Of course, anybody local here that wants a copy of the Constitution, I'm still making them, so you can find them down at Maxville Mart. Or if you see me on the road, I've usually got some in the truck. So, hit me up. But anyway, just a few things been bothering me. we do have some hope. There are audits going on for the looking back over the fiasco in November. Arizona is well underway, and I'm telling you, they're the lawsuits. They're fighting it with lawsuits. I don't understand why, if you had done something completely open and above board, you would be so opposed to somebody else checking it out and see. But I tell you what, it's so tense in Arizona, you can't drive a needle up a Democrat's ass with a hammer. Michigan's fixing to fall. I saw a town meeting, a video of a town meeting. It was live in Windham, New Hampshire. And what do they call themselves? The Board of Selectmen. Selectmen. I love that. They they feel pretty good about themselves up there. But dirty and determined not to allow anybody to look into anything they're doing. Man, if you're doing things honestly, the world should be able to watch. But I mean, they're just fighting it tooth and nails. But the people, last night they first met in a room that about 20 people could sit in and watch the meeting, and they ended up having to move it to the high school. They had more than 500 people there. So, citizens, we got to get together. We got to get involved in what's going on, especially our local politics. And you start that change at the foundation, and then we can rebuild the whole house. So, we got to get that done. Curtis DOJ, I hear you, man. Crooked as a dog's hind leg, like my granddad would have said. But I think if enough people get together and put pressure, and like I said, start locally, but our representatives have to act in a way that the world can watch. I've always been opposed to these executive sessions, they call it. No government, whether it's town, county, or anything, should be doing business in secret, not the people's business, because the people have the right to know what's going on. So, anyhow, I guess that's about all I had to say. I hope y'all would find my YouTube channel and like and subscribe. And, if 20 people would share an idea with 20 more people, and that would go ahead and pyramid, we can make a change in this country. All we got to do is do it. We got to be serious about it, though. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. The lady that lets me live here has work for me to do. I'm supposed to be retired, but she don't understand that. So I love you guys. God bless America. And everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.